Okay, it's 10. Yeah. Namaskaram, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. A very happy morning to each one of you. My name is Harish Reddy and I am your sergeant today. I welcome you all to the Hyderabad Toastmasters meeting number 364. Can we have a big round of applause, please? You can turn on the audio, you can shout, you can cheer. Yeah. I welcome you all. There are few ground rules of the meetings. Do not talk about sex, religion, and politics. Please put yourself on mute when the speaker is talking. Avoid chatting in the Zoom chat when the speaker is giving a speech. When speaker is delivering a speech, please try to keep your cameras on because speaker would like to see you while delivering the speech. Since the meeting is 2.5 hours long, keep a water bottle along with you. I request all the guests to register yourself with the link provided in the chat. And the first 3 guests will be invited to speak first during the break session. And they will also receive a Toastmaster International e-magazine. What can you get from the meeting can be reflected in the club's mission statement. Let me read it out for you. We provide a supportive and a positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Now, to take this meeting forward, I am calling a passionate Toastmaster. She is a Hyderabadi by heart and a Calcutta by mind. She is passionate about her work and believes that empowering people will bring a real life change in the society. Without further delay, let me call the president of today's meeting, the presiding officer, Toastmaster Jeshas.
Hi, Harish, and thank you so much. Good morning, everyone, and I hope everyone is doing well. Am I right? Okay, great.
Awesome.
Just a minute, let me put it in the gallery view. Yeah, now I can see everyone. Yes, feels much better. Otherwise, I was able to see only my face. That's very disturbing. Okay, let me take this meeting ahead. So this is meeting number 364 for Hyderabad Toastmasters. We have come a long way. Indeed, we have come a long way. In this long journey, we not only have members who are actually contributing to the success of the club, but we have our regular guests coming in and who've been a part of our Toastmasters meeting on a regular basis and encouraging us and supporting us. So as kind of giving back to the guest or a recognition for their contribution, let me read out the first 5 names who were the first guests to enter the meeting today. And they are Sajia Farheen, Munaz Hussain, Ravi A, Irfan Ali Khan, and Animesh Barat or Animesh Borat. Have I pronounced it rightly, all of your name? I hope I have. So welcome and thank you for registering with Hyderabad Toastmasters to all the guests. And not only these 5, but all the other guests who are present here, welcome to Hyderabad Toastmasters 364th meeting. Yes, as I was saying that we have come a long way, a long journey. And this journey wouldn't have been completed or wouldn't have been, let me say, possible without the contribution of the members and their success. So let me share with you a few success that we have earned or few achievements we have earned in the last week. Let me share my screen. Is my screen visible? Okay. So yes. Yeah, now is it visible? It's in a slide mode, right? Great. Okay.
Yes.
So achievements for the month of December 2021, and here it goes. Hyderabad Toastmasters has achieved the Select Distinguished Club status at the international level. These are some of the levels or some of the recognitions that the Hyderabad that Toastmasters International provide to each and every club against specific parameters. If any one of our guests are interested to know what are these or how it is achieved, you can connect with our VP Education after the meeting. Yes, going forward. At the district level, at the district 98 stage level, Hyderabad Toastmasters have achieved two success, or I would say two titles. And what are they? One is Hall of Fame Award, another is Retention Champ. Hall of Fame Award for the renewal from September. 10 or more members have done an annual renewal, and Hyderabad Toastmasters, we have more than 15, if I'm not wrong, who have done their annual membership with Hyderabad Toastmasters as well as with Toastmasters International. Retention Champ, we have retained more than 75% of the members in our club in the September month cycle. That goes our discussion about what club has achieved. We have also achieved some individual success, which are Rajneesh. Distinguished Toastmaster Rajneesh has completed his level 1 in dynamic leadership pathways. That's the educational program of Toastmasters International. Again, if members are guests are interested to know what they are, they can connect with our VP membership or VP Education after the meeting. Going ahead, we have Toastmaster Rahul. Toastmaster Rahul, who has completed his level 1 in effective coaching pathways. So both big round of applause for both Rahul and Toastmaster, distinguished Toastmaster Rajneesh. Congratulations, and I hope you will be completing your more levels and giving the club more number of distinguished titles in future. Yes. Now is the time for welcoming our new members. So as I said, that our journey is complete without members, and we have been getting members who are interested for their development as for as their self-development. So here it goes. Let me have the 4 members who have joined recently spotlighted. Can we have them spotlighted? Vidya Shankar, then we have Jay Agarwal and Jay Lilani and Ramesh. Yes, all the 4 are spotlighted?
No, not yet, Jesu. I think you can stop sharing the screen.
Yeah, I have stopped.
Read out the names once again. Jay,
Ramesh, Ram. I think Ram.
Jay Agarwal or
Ram.
Jay Elani?
Both Jays.
Both Jays. Okay. Okay. Okay, and Ramesh, right? Ram.
Yeah, Ramesh.
TM Ram.
TM Ram.
Got it. Add spotlight. Yeah.
Okay, they have been added spotlight. Can I share my screen now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you can share.
Yes. So Toastmaster Jay and both the Toastmaster Jay Ilani and Toastmaster Jay Agarwal, Toastmaster Ram and Toastmaster Vidya Shankar. If you are comfortable, you may stand in the place where you are there and put your right hand on your chest. If it's comfortable, otherwise you may please take the oath at your comfort. And what I'll do is, I will read all the oath, and at the end, you may say, I do. Okay? Okay.
All at once, ma'am.
Yeah. That saves actually time, no? Yeah. Yes. As a member of Toastmasters International and I have written in short form, Hyderabad Toastmasters Club, I promise to attend club meetings regularly.
I do.
You may say I do at the end of all the taking. Okay. To prepare all my projects to the best of my ability, basing them on the Toastmasters education program. To prepare for and fulfill the meeting assignments. to provide fellow members with helpful constructive to help the club maintain the positive, friendly environment necessary for members to learn and grow, to serve my club as an officer when called upon and to do so, to treat my fellow club members and our guests with respect and courtesy, to bring guests to the club meeting so that they can see benefit of Toastmasters membership offers, to adhere to the guidelines and rules of all the Toastmasters education and recognition program, to act within Toastmasters' core value of integrity, respect, service, and excellence during the conduct of all Toastmasters activity.
I do.
You can say I do.
I
do. Yes, I do.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And now I would request all the members, if they are comfortable, to stand where they are, or else they can take the oath at their own at their comfort level. When I read the entire oath for the members, then at the end you may say I do. Okay. We all the club members, members of Hyderabad Toastmasters, pledge to support you in your quest for self-development, provide you with positive, helpful evaluation, to maintain a friendly, supportive atmosphere, to give you opportunities to help others, and to make your Toastmasters membership a rewarding and fulfilling experience. I do.
I do.
I do.
do. I do.
I do.
I do.
I do.
I do.
Thank you. Thank you so much to all the members, and I welcome Jay Agarwal and Jay Lilani, and welcome back Vidya Shankar and Toastmaster Ramesh. Now you are all officially Toastmaster TM before your name when you are here in this meeting. So I hope this will be a very successful and a learning and enjoyable journey for all of us. We are as excited as you are to have us with the club.
Yes.
I would like to end my presiding officer's speech. Now I would like to hand over to the stage to Toastmaster Kiranmai, who is today's Toastmaster of the day. So to just a brief introduction of Toastmaster Kiranmai, because I don't want to spoil the theme for today. Toastmaster Kiranmai is a teacher and in physics. Okay. And she is also a runner, a marathoner, that's the right word. And she has been running not only in India, but she has, because of her passion towards running and being fit, she has visited places across the world, Paris and Germany, if I'm not wrong, Kiranmai, right? So yes, so a teacher and a marathoner and a Toastmaster. And here you go, Toastmaster Kiranmai, the stage is all yours. Over to you.
Thank you, Joshua. Thank you so much. Man conquers the world by conquering himself. The secret to success is right in your hands and our hands. There is always a solution in resolution. Let's explore to conquer our resolutions. Thank you once again, Joshua. Namaste, dear Toastmasters and my dear guests. Resolution. A resolution is simply a promise or a firm decision to ourselves to get something done, ideally along with a plan to make it happen. Just set a resolution and get it. It sounds simple, but it isn't so, right? Resolution setting is a way to articulate values and going through a process to confirm and publicly share them is an extremely helpful farming exercise that can guide our actions and improve our lives, whether or not we make certain progress on specific articulations of them. The resolution may sound simple for a person, but very difficult for someone else. Like wake up early in the morning by 4:45 a.m. every day is so normal and quite simple for me. But it might need a resolution to be taken for others to inculcate the habit into the daily routine. According to a study published in the Journal of Clinical Psychology, only 46% of people who made resolutions were successful. That means over half of the people who set a goal will fail. The study also involves non-resolvers. Point to be noted here. People who did not resolve but had a goal they wanted to achieve, only 4% of non-resolvers were successful at achieving their goals, a far bleaker result than those who did resolve. So let's try to take a resolution and just share. If you have any resolution, just share in the chat box today. We'll just discuss in the break or at the end of the meeting. Let me explain the proceedings of the meeting first. The first segment comprises of prepared speeches, which we are fortunate to have 4 speakers in today's meeting. Speakers prepare their speeches with respect to their level and projects under the guidance of their respective mentors. These speeches are evaluated in the last segment. The most exciting segment is the second segment, impromptu speeches, popularly known as table topics. Randomly, a topic is given to you and speak on it within the time limit of 2 minutes. It is one of my favorite segments. Although I fear every time I participate, it makes me a better speaker. The third segment is all about evaluations. Each speaker in the first segment gets evaluated by their respective evaluators in detail, and this is exclusively for the improvement of their speeches. And we do have a break in between. Having said that, I need to take a resolution in 2021 to get into Toastmaster. As one of the seasoned Toastmasters said, I have to show my attendance by enrolling into the form shared for guests in HTM meetings, like our meetings, which I did not do it, though I participated in table topics. He's so strict, and I took it as a challenge, a resolution finally at that moment to be an HTM member by 2021. My resolution is unsuccessful, which is a story for the next segment. That seasoned Toastmaster is today's general evaluator, Toastmaster Vijayan. Over to you, my dear Buchandi.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kiranmai, and good morning, my dear friends. So the speech title sticks to the face, I guess. Welcome once again to this wonderful meeting. How many of you watch Formula One racing? Just show your hands. Do you know how many pit stops are there in a Formula One racing?
6
Minimum
or 7.
6, good.
Yeah.
But do you know every car that goes in that racing track has to at least once stop in the pit stop? And the reason could be change of tires, could be because of weather condition, engine condition, or it could be simply a strategy. Okay, but the point is, just like they need to change, they need to stop in a pit stop during the race to become better at the race. Every speaker needs a feedback to become better speaker, and that's the segment that Toastmaster brings. Constructive feedback to help speakers become better, and that segment is called evaluations. And today, as a general evaluator, I'm going to evaluate the entire meeting as one whole segment. And I have a team that helps me do this. So to call upon the first team player who is going to help me, the specialist who is going to change the tires during the run, is none other than my good friend and a guiding star of the current executive committee. When I say guiding star, it's an immediate past president of today's executive committee. Toastmaster Param is not only guiding star in Toastmasters, but also in his corporate world and for personal life friend as well. Toastmaster Param is going to play the role of Wordmaster Grammarian. I'll call upon Toastmaster Param to introduce his role. Over to you, Toastmaster Param.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Vijayan, for the kind introduction. I don't intend to take the job of a life coach for sure. That I can assure you, because that needs much more depth of knowledge. I would like to introduce the word of the day and the idiom of the day. The good thing about Toastmaster meeting, if you attend, is that you definitely get two things to carry. One is the word of the day and the idiom of the day. And after that, you get much more things to carry. So stay focused on the word of the day, idiom of the day, keep practicing how to make use of it. So the word of the day is the first one I'm going to introduce. The reason is I'll tie it to the idiom of the day for usage also. The word of the day I've picked up in sync with the theme is pertinacious. The word is pertinacious. I'm putting it on the chat box for everybody to see it. Please note the word is pronounced as pertinacious. It is not pertinacious, as some asked me how to pronounce it. It's when the word is ending with cious, it's shus. So the word is pertinacious as it is pronounced. It means persistent with your habits. For example, if you're pertinacious in your theme, they become your resolutions. And if you want to do your resolutions, you got to be pertinacious. You can say that Toastmaster Vijay is pertinacious about how we attend meetings. So he loves people attending meeting. So if you have to really do something and make it a habit, you got to be pertinacious about it. Okay, the idiom of the day is something more interesting. It's called throw a spanner in the works. And I'm sure many would not have heard this idiom for a long time to come, because it's a generational change of using this word. This was called throw a spanner in the works. Primarily means, for example, there are a lot of disturbances that come on the way. And if you want to keep the disturbances away, you got to throw the spanner away. For it, I'll help you with the usage. In your quest to make your new resolutions work happen, there may be many reasons that may throw spanner in the works. Are you able to get it? There may be many reasons that may throw spanner in the works, which means there could be many things that will come as disturbances. There will be a lot of noises that will be happening in your head. Should I attend the meeting in the morning or not? Should I wake up by 6 a.m. by the alarm clock or not? These are all throwing spanner in the works. The mind. You may have to give a cold turkey to those noise happening inside you and be pertinacious in your quest to succeed. See, I'm using the word pertinacious in your quest to succeed. So whenever any speaker uses the word pertinacious or uses the idiom or the word of the day, we usually show them one thumbs up. If they use both idiom and the word of the day in a sentence, use double thumbs up. I want to keep it that simple as that. And last but not the least, for all good usage of words, I shall intimate in the forum. For all the inappropriate usage of the words, I shall inform you privately what are the options for improving yourself. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Vijay. The meeting is back to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster, for a wonderful choice of word of the day and idiom of the day. Friends, as he said, the purpose of this is to help us improve our daily vocabulary. And I encourage everyone, not just the speakers today, everyone, including guests, to be pertinacious about your effort you put towards improving your own daily vocabulary. The next role player I have today is also a passionate Toastmaster who's a former VP membership. More than that, he was instrumental in creating a Toastmasters club in his office as a corporate club, right? And he is one of the adventurous persons in our club who early this year went on a river rafting. Today, Toastmaster Ashish Veni is going to play the role of our counter. So can I have Toastmaster Ashish spotlighted? And Toastmaster Ashish, please explain your role.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vijay, for the warm introduction. Good morning, all. Happy to see you on this day. And today, my role as an accountant is to note down filler words or words which are spoken by speakers knowingly or unknowingly in their subconscious mind, and they use these words which disrupts the speech, which doesn't help the listeners to understand what exact the speech is. And by noting this down and by helping them noting this down, I help them to understand how we can reduce those filler words and make it subconscious and speech meaningful and with a smooth flow. Some of the inappropriate interjections such as, you know, but, you, so, And all these words will be noted down by me and will be shared when called upon stage. Thank you, Toastmaster Vijayan. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ashish Veni. And dear friends, if you see Ashish Veni, he enacted his role very well by inducing a little bit of the filler words himself purposefully to show how it disrupts the flow of a speech. Good work, Toastmaster Ashish. The next important pit stop in a Toastmaster's journey is to manage time. And for that, I have the next role player who is a very new Toastmaster, but a very experienced speaker. She is the finalist in Master Orator Championship 3 years back when she was in her college days. Amazing speaker. Toastmaster Yashna is going to play the role of timer 1. I request Toastmaster Yashna, please explain your role. I understand you will not be able to turn on your video. It's okay. At least you can turn on your audio.
Yes. Hello, everyone. Thank you, Vijayan, for that introduction. So my role today is as of a timer. Timing is very crucial moving, especially in Toastmasters. Using the time you have been allocated effectively by going neither over nor significantly under time is very important to deliver an effective speech by making your point and holding your audience's attention. Today, we have 3 categories of speeches. One, prepared speech, the allocated time for which is 5 to 7 minutes. I will be showing a green screen at 5, a yellow at 6, and red at 7. We have a 30 seconds plus and minus buffer period. For table topics today, we have, I will show us green screen at 1, yellow at 1:30, and and red at 2. We have a 30 seconds plus grace period for this. And finally, the evaluations, where I will be showing green screen at 2 minutes, yellow screen at 2 minutes 30 seconds, and a red screen at 3 minutes. We also have a plus 30 seconds and minus 30 seconds for this as well. I will share my report at the end of the meeting. All the best, everyone.
Thank you, Toastmaster Yashna. Thank you very much. So that was another critical aspect of any public speaking, is to manage time. And Toastmaster Yashna is going to help us. But for the entire meeting as such, time management is equally important, right? For that, I have timer 2, Sandeep Reddy, who is going to play the role for and guide every single role player, including myself and Toastmaster of the day, we stay within the time limits. Toastmaster Sandeep Reddy is a new Toastmaster, and he, along with his wife, brought bundle of joy to our club. Recently, they are blessed with amazing twins. So I hand it over to Toastmaster Sandeep to explain your role as a timer 2. Over to you, Sandeep.
Good morning, everyone. So I'll be accompanying with Yashna, and I'll also be saying whoever are presenting themselves in different speeches. So I'll be helping Yashna see whether they are following the times or not. If not, we'll be highlighting in the chat box.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sandeep. Thank you so much. Look forward for your chat messages. And last but not the least, I do have a backstage expert who is the Zoom master for today and also the vote master, Toastmaster Harish. He is the Sergeant at Arms for our club as well. Now, the job of the Zoom master and vote master, probably Zoom master you would have already seen, he has been spotlighting everyone as and when someone speaks, right? So the job as a vote master, he is going to launch polls through the Zoom app to vote for the best speaker, best evaluator, best table topic speaker, and best role players as well. My only request to every single member present today in the meeting, except for the host and co-host, everyone else are eligible to vote. So take less than 10 seconds. The moment a voting screen pops up, less than 10 seconds, cast your vote. Every single vote is important. Do not wait for us to call and ask for votes. Quickly respond to the votes as and when it's been shown. And my responsibility as general evaluator, as I said earlier, is to wear powerful lenses to look at the entire meeting as such, how well it goes, and then give guidance on how we can improve in our next meeting itself. I'll come back with my team and the reports whenever the Toastmaster of the day calls me back. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day, Kiranmai. You need to unmute yourself, Kiranmai. I think you're on mute. You're on mute.
Yeah, I think you can hear me now. Yes. Yeah. Thank you, General Evaluator, Toastmaster Vijayan, and the tag team for a great introduction of the roles. Let's all be pertanious in performing our roles. Pertanious, right, Param?
Pertinacious.
Pertinacious in performing our roles. I do not believe in New Year's resolutions. I think if we want to change something, change it today and do not wait until the new year. I laid out my plan of action to get into HTM and got eligible for HTM. Then my sweet-hearted Buchandi, motivated General Evaluator Vijayan, motivated me to join the Speechcraft program of HTM and enrolled me as HTM member on 21st March 2021. 3 years later, my unsuccessful resolution ended in a better version, and I'm here as Toastmaster of the Day. It may not be the same always. Only 4% of non-resolvers were successful at achieving their goals. Knowing it, naturally, we do not want to be in the camp of folks that fail to achieve their aspirations and dreams, right? Let us choose a resolution that brings prominent changes in our lifestyle. I believe in taking a personal resolution as it allows us to ruminate on the professional and passionate aspects of our lives. Having said that, let's start our speech segment. Before I call upon the first speaker of the day, Toastmaster Sai Lakshmi, I would like to welcome Toastmaster Pragna to share about the evaluation parameters of our first speaker. Over to you, Toastmaster Pragna.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, and a very good morning to all in the meeting. Toastmaster Lakshmi is delivering her speech from the Path Persuasive Influence. She is delivering Level 2, Project 1. The purpose of this particular project is to understand her leadership style. The member will share some aspects of his or her leadership style, or she can share different leadership styles. All the best, Toastmaster Lakshmi. Looking forward to your speech. Back to Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Kiranmai.
Thank you, Toastmaster Pragna. Toastmaster Sai Lakshmi is mother of 2 boys and rest of her life is in parenthesis. Books, long walks, and meaningful conversations delight her. Moreover, she is a serial resolution maker and breaker too. This year, though, she is determined to make pretty serious resolutions. Waiting to hear from you, Sai Lakshmi. Sai Lakshmi, Sherin, Sai Lakshmi. Over to you, Toastmaster Sai Lakshmi.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kiranmai. The title of my speech is Sherini. Evaluator, please note that's Sherini, and timer, can you show the change of cards? I hope the screen is not frozen. I don't see the change of cards.
You can go to next screen.
Give me 1 second, yes.
Yeah.
Is the screen visible?
Yes.
Yeah, can you see?
Yes. Thank you.
You can go back to white slide. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. Shall I start?
Yes,
Yes.
time is yours.
Yes,
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Good morning, Toastmasters and guests. Water, water everywhere, but not a drop to drink. Laments a sailor in a poem. Leaders, leaders everywhere, not one that I can relate to. So was my lament, until I met Vidya Vincent. Let me introduce her to you all. Vidya Vincent is a divisional forest officer in a densely forested district in the state of Madhya Pradesh. Vidya is a fictional character in the film Sherni, and she is no less Sherni herself, which you will know in the course of my speech. Vidya has a challenge in front of her. She has to head an operation to capture and relocate a man-eating tigress and her cubs to a nature reserve. Vidya is determined to ensure that the tigress and the locals remain safe through the course of the operation. Unfortunately, the tigress began to claim her casualties, and tensions ran high. And not to forget that Vidya is part of government machinery, and so many spanners are already thrown in her work, and in the form of opportunistic politicians, incompetent and shape-shifting superiors, terrified locals, and her own disadvantage of handling a job that was traditionally meant for a man. There is a silver lining to this situation too. Vidya has some saner voices in her team in the form of a zoology professor, her team members, and community workers. Vidya works hard, puts in tremendous effort to ensure that the tigress was captured alive. Unfortunately, the heroic battle comes to an end when the tigress is killed by a hunter to satisfy his male ego, making us all wonder who was more savage. I chose Vidya and her leadership style as a representation for employees, beginner employees like me who are at the lower rung of the hierarchy. We are asked to demonstrate our leadership skills, but with limited room for maneuverability and within the confines of the organization. So that's where the challenge arises. Vidya has helped me to understand that it is possible to demonstrate the leadership within the limited scope of freedom or autonomy that you have. The first, let me take you to the challenges that Vidya faced. The first challenge was for her to exercise authority in basically a man's world. There were a couple of instances through the course of the movie where you see that she was undermined as a lady officer. Vidya gracefully counters the, the put downs with quiet resilience. And this is where the first practical lesson that she teaches me to read the room and pick your battles. It's easy for us to understand, to tweak our leadership styles when we understand the room that we are put in. We may enter the room with a perception with an idea of how we are going to be perceived, but when we're actually there, it's going to be a different story. So we should be flexible enough to change our strategy when we are dealing with a crowd that is not friendly with us. And then Vidya also with Vidya realizes that by being aggressive in her situation, in her particular situation, she realizes that being aggressive or being angry or expressing her annoyance would not advance her idea to help conserve the tiger. So the situation is like this. The locals are terrified of the tiger, and the tiger is terrified of the local and is practically starving. So Vidya has to strike a balance to ensure that the locals remain safe and the tiger has its own habitat to continue surviving, to continue to live. So the second story, I'm sorry, I'm not able to do this.
Lakshmi, take 2-3 second pause and complete your speech. Absolutely fine. Go on.
We'll wait.
Lakshmi, you're on mute.
Unmute.
You're doing just fine, Lakshmi. Just continue.
All right. So the situation is this, as I've explained to you, Vidya has to strike a balance between these three, and in between you have opportunistic politicians who want to play the cat and mouse game and inside the villagers to kill the tiger and also encroach the forest land. So Vidya is in a state of fix, and she has to persuade the locals to understand the conservation of tiger and the habitat. And the habitat is very important to strike the balance, to balance the ecosystem. But there were no one who was listening to us. That takes me to the second lesson that Vidya had for us. That communication is not about making a grand announcement. As a leader, you cannot make a grand announcement and tell people this is the announcement that I have for you all, and you have to follow it. No. So Vidya, what she does, she talks to the she taught me that it is important as much as to announce or to talk is to listen with empathy. She goes to the locals, she meets them, she understands their need to go into forest for their livelihood, and she convinces them saying that there are alternative opportunities without them going to forest. This is in stark contrast to her previous officer, who happens to be a male officer, who never paid heed to the plights of the local, and in fact was partly responsible for the tigers to stray into human settlement. So Vidya, in a way, found a way to connect and engage with the locals on a shared purpose. Right. Vidya, by demonstrating her personal integrity by staying true to her words, could win the hearts of locals who were initially skeptical of her. So much so that young girls in that Tanda aspired to be an officer like her when she grows up, and her team members, the lackadaisical government missionary, all of a sudden sprang into action and promised her of unwavering support. So this is all possible because Vidya chose to listen to them and then come up with solution. And this is where the third lesson of the speech comes into of Vidya. The third lesson that Vidya taught me is true leadership always leaves a legacy that inspires people to take up the role of leadership, because leadership is no easy job. It is not a privilege to do less, but a responsibility to do more. The film ends on a hopeful note where the community workers earlier were worried about tigress attacking them, rescues the cubs of the slain tigress, and hands them over to the forest officials. Vidya truly left a mark. So I am one of the millions of Vidyas all over the world who are at the basic level, who are trying to establish a voice for ourselves within the confines of within the parameters that we were set to. But how am I doing that? To develop a distinctive and an original voice for myself within the confines of the organization, I draw source from my sense of integrity and my sense of duty. This, I call it as everyday leadership or enduring leadership. There can be many battles like this, the one that I've just fallen flat because my mind went frozen, but still I get up, brush off the dust and stand up and continue talking because I have earned the credibility of you all for supporting me. So this is called the enduring leadership, the leadership that continues like the pernicious river that cuts through the mountain to establish a course for itself. It may not be done instantaneously. Like I cannot become a speaker of a word instantaneously, but it will be done eventually. Until that happens, I'll continue to persist. I'll continue to walk on the path. Over to you. Thank you so much for your patience and your time. Over to you, Toastmaster Kiranmai.
Thank you, Lakshmi. You just proved that you are our Sherini today. Thank you so much. So before I call upon the second speaker of the day, Toastmaster Ajit. I would like to call his evaluator, Toastmaster Shashank.
Kiranmai, sorry for interruption. Can we have a feedback for speaker? We have a link in chat window.
Yeah, sorry, Lokesh.
Yeah.
I request
We'll
all to give feedback on Sai Lakshmi's speech, please. Please give descriptive feedback if possible. Shall we move on to the second speaker? Yeah. Our second speaker of the day is Toastmaster Ajit. And
It's Abhijit, ma'am.
Abhijit, sorry, Abhijit. And then I would like to call upon Toastmaster Shashank to give the evaluation parameters. Toastmaster Shashank, over to you.
Thank you, TMOD, and good morning, fellow Toastmasters. Toastmaster Abhijit is attempting his L1 P2A on the pathway dynamic leadership, and the purpose of this project is for the member to present a speech on any topic, receive feedback, and apply the feedback to the second speech. All the best, Toastmaster Abhijit. Over to you, TMOD.
TMOD, you're on mute.
Thank you, Shashank. Over to you, Abhijit. Before I call upon you to continue, Toastmaster Abhijit, hardcore sales guy who likes to travel, meet people and make friends. In past, he took many resolutions and 100% failed and took a decision for no resolutions. However, he have a clear goal, divide the goal into small tasks and just do it day in and day out. One brick at a time is his principle. Also, he keeps track on measuring his performances towards the goals. Over to you, Abhijit. Toastmaster Abhijit, eat that frog. Eat that frog, Toastmaster Abhijit. Over to you.
Good morning, all. How many of you think that 24 hours is not enough for completing your to-do list? Good morning, Toastmasters and my dear guests. Let me share you my first story. I was 24 years old. I joined PepsiCo International. I was in charge of a biggest depot of Hyderabad, a team of 22, and 40% of volume contributing to my boss territory, a biggest responsibility on my shoulders. I was doing all kind of firefighting as well as running pillar to post to achieve my target. But in the end, I was failing to do that. The motivation for any salesperson would be to be a consistent performer. But I was not able to understand what is the reason of my inconsistency until my mentor given me a constructive feedback on time management as well as on job prioritization. I had reservations on that. Earlier, I was arguing with him that I'm good at job prioritization. Then he explained me the reasons why I'm losing my targets. He has explained me that I'm trying to do each and every work by myself and missing the important and urgent works which I have to do in, day out. I took that feedback very seriously and I thought I should work on it. I took a resolution and it was luck or by chance I came across a wonderful book which says eat that frog. I've initially read a couple of chapters, tried to understand the concept and impersonalizing me. The book was talking about prioritizing your job, giving your task into important and urgent matrix, and the 80-20 principle. After I've got initial success, then I've completed my whole book, and I realized that I'm focusing on 80% of tasks which were contributing to 20% of output, rather than focusing on the 20% of tasks which will be contributing to my 80% of output. I've did that minor change, and the results were coming in. I'm sure everybody has n number of tasks to be done in a day, but all tasks are not equally important. So if you focus on important tasks, you'll be very productive. So it was matter of time. My contributions are felt in the office. I was giving a consistent performer, and because of all this, I got 2 promotions in span of 5 years. That was a great achievement for me. Now, what I've learned from this situation was to take the feedback in a right spirit. That was a baby step to move to the next level, and working on that feedback pertinaciously so that I achieve it, and it's a key for transformation. That was my first story. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me show you my another story, which was happened recently. It was on my fitness. See, every wife expects his husband to be a Hrithik Roshan or a Akshay Kumar when it comes to a body fitness. But in the contrary, every husband will have a small pot belly which will grow to a bigger one like a Bappi Lahiri. And it was, and there was no contradiction. And it was no different for me. I'll not blame my wife. But thanks to her delicious food, the dhoklas, the feflas, the samosas, and the basundis, and that mindless eating habit has increased my weight to 1 or 2 kgs. Now I was feeling very lazy. I was very tired while doing this. My weight has increased to 1 or 2 kgs, and I was not able to do my work properly. In fact, I was throwing a spanner at my work. So I've decided. Now I have taken the decision. Not only I'll reduce my weight, but as well as I will work on my overall fitness. I quickly joined a weight loss program, and I was doing the 4 days of body weight training as well as 1 day of sprinting in the ground. Now the beauty of this program and my mentor was, he was pushing my limits every day, and the spontaneous work ethic for 3 months has reduced my weight to 82 kgs from 1 or 2 kgs. Again, it was a great achievement for me. The initial motivation has inculcated a 60 minutes of workout and a 1200 calories of diet to follow to maintain this. Now, many of you would be going to gym. Many of you would be going for a walk or running. But again, you will be agreeing that you will not be having a desired physique what you wanted to be. So where is the trick? The trick is to have a right kind of food and at a right quantity. If a person is having more than 2000 calories of food, he'll be tending to increase his weight. And if he's able to eat the food which is less than 2000 calories, then he will be losing on the losing your weight. That is the formula you need to understand. Right food and right quantity is the key. Avoid having processed food like jams, any sugary items. That will also help you to be fit. Now I was fit and fine. My fitness has improved my confidence to against whatever challenges it has thrown at me. I was energetic. I was able to do work for a long hours, and because of that, I've been promoted in other companies. And right now, I'm an ASM in one of the good companies. And the reason for that is all your good habits, which is the key. Now, that was my second story. So, in conclusion, if I wanted to tell you that if everybody is thinking that they are not good in work-life balance, then I highly recommend everybody to go through the Eat That Frog book. He talks a lot about job prioritization. He talks about putting the task into urgent and important matrix, and remember the 80-20 formula, and it's actually work out on all the aspects of your life. For example, 20% of customers gives you 80% of volume, or 20% of people will have a 80% of money. In the same way, focusing on 20% of task will give you a 80% output. So remember that as you prioritize your day, you have to prioritize your life as well as you have to prioritize your health. As the saying goes, health is wealth, and healthy body leads to a healthy mind, and healthy minds will help you to take better decisions in a pressure situation, not only in a personal life or in the professional life. So all in all, from last 10 years, I'm eating all the important frogs which is on my plate. So I have a question for you. What is that frog which is lying on your plate you want to eat first? Back to Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ajit. It's wonderful. So now we all have a trigger to have an idea about the frog that we would like to finish first. With that, let's move on to the feedback form. Request to post the feedback form in the chat room, please.
It's already there.
So please fill the form quickly and descriptively, not a crisp, please. It really helps the speakers to be motivated and then to correct themselves for better speeches. Now let's move on to the third speaker, Toastmaster Shweta. I would like to welcome the evaluator, Toastmaster Ajit, to share the evaluation parameters, please.
Thank
Toastmaster
you.
Ajit.
Yeah, thank you, Toastmaster Ajit. Toastmaster Shweta is also doing the same speech that Toastmaster Abhijit just presented. The purpose of this project is to practice applying feedback and serve as a speech validator during a club meeting. All the best, Toastmaster Shweta.
Thank you, Ajit.
Thank you, Ajit. Toastmaster Shweta. Professionally, she is in the field of education. Being around with children helps her to be young at heart and be open to learning at all times. She took a resolution, and that too per month. Oh my God. But withdrew due to lack of commitment. She would like to retry again. Wish you all the best, Toastmaster Shweta, for your speech of no pain, no gain. No pain, no gain by Toastmaster Shweta.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Kiranmai. Shweta, can you once check the change of timer cards if you can see it? Yes, sure. I can see the white. Can you see the others? Yes, I can see yellow, red. Yeah. Okay, yes. Thank you. Good morning, Toastmasters and dear guests. Raise your hand if you have heard of the boiling frog syndrome. The premise is that if a frog is suddenly put into a pot of boiling water, it will jump out and save itself from death. But if the frog is put in lukewarm water with the temperature rising slowly, it will not perceive any danger to itself and will be cooked to death. This takes me to my childhood, where I was a happy child raised in a half conservative and half progressive family. Although I had all opportunities to explore my strengths, I held myself back, fearing failure. Gradually, I cocooned myself in the zone of comforts by just being dependent on people around me. After my grade 10, I was given two options. One is to move to a boarding school for my grades 11 and 12, or continue staying in this comfort zone. Without a second thought, I chose the option 2. This decision did not bring an iota of difference in me, as this phase left me with no challenges or opportunities that would help me find my true potential. 2 years passed and another opportunity came knocking at my door, either to step out for my undergraduation or continue to stay in this little world. I conveniently chose the option 2, which meant I closed the doors one more time and shut myself in the comforts. What held me back were my thoughts of what if I fail? What will my family think about me? What will others talk about me? What if I can't learn? These thoughts haunted me, throwing spanner in the works and blurring my sight into the world of opportunities. 4 years later, the same 2 options were in front of me for my post-graduation, and this time it was even scarier as I had to step out and go to the faraway land of the United States all by myself. I remember that night my mom came to me and said that I was living in a world out of reality, and without that skill and competency to step out, I will lose on a lot of opportunities. She further insisted that I come out of the blind side to witness what I'm capable of doing. These did not shake me much. Lastly, she asked me to tell about one thing that I have achieved so far in my life, or something that I'm proud of having done, for which I did not have an answer. And this came up as a wake-up call to me. I gave it a deep thought and reflected on what have I achieved so far in the last 20 years of my life, for which I barely had an answer. But one thing that I was clear was the reason beneath not doing anything was finding comfort in being dependent on others and not realizing my capabilities. 1 week later, I decided that I must conquer my fears and plunged into this journey from the world of dependencies to being independent. Naturally, this did not come as a piece of cake. There were days I wanted to give up and go back to that little world of mine. But my goal and my mom's words held me tight with grit and resilience. And this opportunity gave me experiences that changed everything about what I believed, how I behaved, and how I lived. This choice gave me opportunity to experience what it takes to be independent while practicing seeing failures as stepping stones to success. Here in that land, I had to explore my strengths, from meeting strangers to making friends, being independent, working part-time, managing my finances, landing in a job while experiencing events of failure. With every experience, my confidence and courage kept rising. And above all, these experiences gave me what it takes to face the failure and yet stay determined to give it another try. Here is what I learned through the journey from flight or freeze to fighting my inner demons. First is being clear with my goals. I had a clear and bigger goal to prove that I can be independent and earn a living for myself, which held me tight and helped me conquer my fears of doing things that I haven't done any time before. Second is seeing failure as a teacher. Every time I failed, be it during my rejection of visa in the first attempt or the other failures, I made sure I learned something out of that step and moved forward, and also learned to be pertinacious in this journey. And the third is taking small steps. As the adage goes, Rome wasn't built in a day. It is the small and consistent actions that move us forward more reliably than trying to do everything at once. The most important learning for me is where there is no pain, there is no gain. Now that whenever I'm given an opportunity, I make sure I jump out and grab that so that I learn something out of it. So my friends, have you ever experienced opportunities passing by because of not moving beyond your comforts? Trust me, The possibilities are truly endless. If you take on that challenge, the chances are that you may possibly do great or good, or you may stumble, but that's okay. In fact, that's the way we all learn. As quoted by Tony Robbins, all growth starts at the end of your comfort zone. Over to you, TMOD.
Thank you so much, Toastmasters Shweta, for wonderful speech, and we really learned more about your transformation, and it's motivational too. Thank you so much, dear. Now let's move on to the fourth speaker, Toastmaster Tarang.
Before that, feedback.
I'm sorry, yeah, feedback form. Let's all fill the feedback form. The chat room, please.
It's asking for a sign-in, Toastmaster Rahul, can you please disable the sign-in, please?
Yeah, I think for this Google form, you put mandatory Gmail sign-in. So we'll have to
Can you give me a moment? You can go. I'll just check.
Yeah.
Let's continue in the meantime, and maybe by the break time we can fill up this form.
Sure, thank you.
Okay.
TMOD.
So, thank you, Rahul. Let's move on to the fourth speaker, Toastmaster Tarang. Before I call upon the speaker, I would like to invite Toastmaster Jashoshri. Please share about the evaluation parameters. Toastmaster Jashoshri.
Yeah, hi. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes.
Toastmaster Tarang is attempting his third project from evaluation and feedback. This is level 1 of his dynamic leadership pathways. And the purpose of his speech is the Tarang needs to present a speech on any topic of his choice and receive feedback and apply the feedback to the second speech. The purpose of the speech is Tarang needs to demonstrate that he has applied the feedback received from his previous speech. So over to you, Toastmaster Tarang, and all the very best.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jashoshri. Toastmaster Tarang Kulkarni, a private consultant and a New Year's fan. He plans to celebrate New Year's Eve with all enthusiasm, says what better way to start off than the fun. It's by participating in HTM meeting. He never took a resolution and plans for none too. No future plans on the resolutions also. Toastmaster Tarang's speech, New Year and Christmas, a carol and a resolution. A New Year and Christmas, a carol and a resolution, Toastmaster Tarang. Over to you, Toastmaster Tarang.
Good morning, my dear fellow Toastmasters and guests. Wishing you in advance a very happy New Year 2022. So my speech title is New Year and Christmas, a carol and a resolution. What does this mean? Let me tell you. Most people do resolutions on the New Year. I resolve to do this, I will change this about myself. But for most people, their resolutions don't go through. And the next year, these resolutions become re-solutions, repeats. Now, why is this? Why do most people make resolutions that they can't keep? Well, I'll walk you through the entire process. So what happens is that in step 1, some person faces some issue during the year, some kind of difficulty. In step 2, he relates this difficulty to some personality issue or something that he feels he can fix. In step 3, he decides to take a resolution to fix this. And in step 4, he actually takes the resolution. Have you seen anything strange about this math? Anything different? Man is a social animal, but the person is doing this entire process all alone. There's nobody else involved. So what happens is that his conscious mind is telling him, do this, do that, do this, do that. But out of our mind, only 20% is conscious and 80% is unconscious. The unconscious mind follows human nature, which is to take the easiest way forward. And the easiest way forward is to just chill. Relax, nothing is going to change. Relax, no issues. And most resolutions are not really very super critical matters. So what happens is that almost inevitably, or at least for the vast majority of cases, the unconscious mind wins and the person just chills. So the resolution becomes a resolution. How do we change this? We can change it by involving human nature and by remembering the fact that man is a social animal. I'll give an example as to how a successful change was done. The story is called A Christmas Carol, and it was published by Charles Dickens. In it, you have a miser called Ebenezer Scrooge. Scrooge is very rich. He's also very miserly. He continuously wants more, 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 and tries to spend less, less, less. Due to this, not only himself, but everyone around him is miserable. So during Christmas, he is visited by 4 spirits. One is his ex-business partner, and the others are the ghosts of Christmas past, present, and future. These 4 spirits taking him on a journey through time and space, his own time and space, and they show him the consequences of his actions, the consequences of his nature. Scrooge realizes this and becomes a changed man. Later on, he becomes a great philanthropist. He has lots of friends. He enjoys life. This is because he has taken a resolution after the spirit showed him all that to change himself, and he actually followed through. He followed through because he had friends who showed him what was going on, and he was not alone in the journey. Why not follow Scrooge's method? I'm not telling you to go for 4 people. I'm telling you to go for these 2. Your greatest fan and your greatest critic. Go to them and ask each of them these 4 questions. Question number 1, what did I do nicely this year? Question number 2, what did I do badly this year? Question number 3, what do you think is my best personality trait? Question number 4, what do you think is my worst personality trait? Now your best friend and your greatest critic will both give diametrically different answers generally. But there'll be at least some common points in between the answers. And these common points will leap at you because 2 diametrically different people are saying them, and they will remain stuck in your unconscious mind, which again, let me remind you, is 80% of your mental process. So as a result, you won't be able to just forget them. Your unconscious mind also won't say that chill, 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 because this has remained stuck in the process. Thus, you now have an active incentive to fulfill your resolution. You actually have content that tells your conscious mind, this is where I can do better, and this is how I need to do this. And most of all, you have social pressure. Your best friend, that is your greatest fan, and your greatest critic both know that you have asked their advice. They will 100% have asked you why you asked their advice, and they will want an update from you that what have you done with it. So your conscious mind knows what to do. Your subconscious mind is aware of its importance, and your social circle knows what you're doing. All the gears fit together, and now you're ready to ensure that your New Year's resolution does not become a resolution, and that your human nature, that is your subconscious mind, does not throw a spanner in the works. But still, how does this all work? How will you achieve a resolution? May I suggest a simple process? That is, first, you break your resolution into sub-goals, A, B, C, D. You can keep one set of goals as daily goals, such as, I will do today's daily tasks before 8 p.m. It's achievable. It's a daily repeatable task. Then the other you can keep is area-specific goals, like I will complete Toastmasters level 2 pathway in the month of January. Then you create a vision board on social media, on your Facebook, on your Insta, on your LinkedIn. You share your entire resolution, you share your goals, and you share the timelines. Thus, everybody knows what you're doing. Again, you know what you're doing, your subconscious and unconscious mind have agreed that this is what to do, this is the importance of it. Now there's really nothing stopping you. Now all you need to do is start the work. You will face no resistance from within yourself. You will face no issues of just chill. In fact, you will do it very quickly and you will do a good job of it. So that's it from me. I hope this advice was of use to you, so that your New Year's resolution doesn't become a resolution and that your human nature doesn't throw a spanner in the works. Thank you.
Thank you, Tarang, for wonderful speech. I have to throw all these papers that I have prepared now. Is just given and then happily said by Tarang. You stole the show, man. Good. So I'll be back after the break, definitely with bit more and better points to be noted, with lots of enthusiastic tips that you all can achieve the resolution that you're going to set it. Now let's get into the feedback now.
Also, if all the speakers are okay for poll or anyone disqualified?
Yes, Toastmaster Lakshmi.
Yeah, we'll check.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So I will launch the poll for 3.
Yeah, feedback form and then also the poll, please.
Please take less than 10 seconds to cast your poll vote. Everyone except host and co-host will have the access to vote. Okay.
Yes, Harish, are we okay with?
Yeah, it's 40 seconds and only 3 people did not vote. That's fine.
Ending the poll.
Yeah, please end the poll. Yeah.
Thank you, Toastmaster Harish, for launching the poll for the best speakers. And now let's have a break for 5 minutes. And we can't take beyond 5 minutes. And I request VP membership Toastmaster Rahul to interact with the guests.
Good morning, everyone. So while people are taking a short, yes, Harish.
1 second, Rahul. So we will continue the live, or I need to stop?
You can continue the live, no issues. Yeah. So we have the first 3 guests who are present at the meeting today. I hope each one of you all is having an exciting meeting. And let me announce the names of the first 3 people. Do we have them here? Guest Shazia Farheen. Are you there? Okay, let's move on to the next guest, Munaz Musaffar.
Yeah.
Hi, can you switch on your video?
Actually, I don't know. I'm not able to turn on my video in mobile.
No problem. So this is Munaz, right?
Munazza.
Okay, Munazza, I'm sorry. So Munazza, where are you joining us from and how do you find today's meeting?
I'm from Hyderabad. I find it, it's good. Amazing, I can say, listening to all the speakers. And now I'm motivated to get few resolution for myself also.
Interesting. Thank you, Munazza. Next, we have the guest Ravi. Do we have Ravi over here?
Yeah, hi.
Hi, Ravi. Good to see you back. It's good to see you after the previous meetings also. So, Ravi, tell us, how do you find, where are you joining us from and how do you find today's meeting?
So today's meeting, it is very motivated and some important to Shweta madam's speech very motivated me. It is really good. So there is no pain, there is no gain. That is one of the good I heard about that I need to struggle, and that is one. And ABCD sub goals kind of criteria we have to divide. Just now said I forgot name.
Toastmaster Tarang.
Yeah. The meeting was very the speakers are spoken very good, and Abhijit and everyone participated well prepared, and they have spoken very good. Yeah, it is going on good.
Thank you, Ravi. Yeah, for the interest of everyone, yes, Ravi, go ahead.
Rahul, can I part of join? I think I completed in 6.
Yeah, I think I'll be interacting with all of you all for the guests for any queries and all those things after the meeting is over. We can stay back and we can interact. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you. So next we have guest Irfan. Irfan, are you there?
Hi everyone.
Good to see you again, Irfan. Welcome back.
Yeah.
So how are you finding the meeting today?
Yeah, good. I think so. I've gone through all the speakers, what they're speaking about the subject. First, madam was talking about Sherni, topic of Sherni. It's very good. And the second speaker was talking about no pain, no gain. And third speaker was talking about eat the frog, type of things. So I have so many takeaways are there, and overall put together in the complete meeting, I've seen the fraternity in the all over the complete Toastmasters team. And coming to me as a resolution, I want to be a Toastmaster. That is the first resolution. So good to go. And I think so. From the January, I will be a Toastmaster. Is the first resolution from myself.
Wonderful. Thank you, Irfan. I think HTM is blessed to have someone having a resolution to be a part of us. Thank you for that. We have next guest Animesh. Okay, so we don't have Animesh. So we have visiting Toastmaster Mohit.
Hi, I'm there.
Yes, Animesh. Okay, thank you.
Good morning.
So where are you joining us from?
Well, I'm in Hyderabad. I work for hotels. I think I've been willing to join Toastmasters for a while now. So this is a great opportunity and my first interaction. So been fantastic. Great to hear such, and it's not easy. I mean, it's not easy to just start talking and start, debating on topics. So I think for me, this last 1.5 years, especially for our industry, hospitality industry and hotels, it has been a tough time. And something which I've learned personally is agility. You need to bounce back, and that is important. You need to know where to, tone down, slow down, and come back again in force. And apart from being working for hotels, I also do marathons. I do run. And that's how I got introduced to this Toastmasters Club from one of my running buddy. And it's very similar to running marathon. You need to know where your niggles are. You need to know, your body pain, your things. They throw spanner in your work. So basically, but then you need to be pertinacious about your passion and keep moving ahead. I mean, left foot first, right foot first, and then you reach your goal. So that's how I take this topic.
Thank you, Animesh. I think you're by already before joining Toastmasters, you are a proficient speaker. I see that, and thank you for using the word of the day and dim of the day.
I noted it. So yeah, I noted that. So I made sure I would use it somehow. If not in this session, maybe with my team tomorrow.
Wonderful. So we have last one person, our visiting Toastmaster Mohit. Your thoughts about the meeting, and then we get back with the meeting now. Mohit.
Yeah, I find the speeches were very well delivered. I like the pace of the speaker of speaker Shweta, and also the pace of another speaker. Toastmaster Abhijit also had delivered a very good speech, second speech. So I really enjoyed the meeting.
Wonderful. Thank you. I'll request each one of you all who's interested in participating in table topics. Our table topic master for today is Toastmaster Aman. Would request you to share a private chat to him if you're interested, so that we don't waste time in volunteering. And there will be limited number of table topic speakers today, because the evaluation segment is itself pretty exhaustive today. With that, I give it back to Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Kiranmai. Kiranmai, you're on mute.
Yeah, thank you, Toastmaster Rahul. Thank you so much. I know we all packed with 6 evaluations and table topics are forward. And I would like to just start with, I simply adopt to the tip of to raise the little things, to raise above the little things is my slogan I adopted in order to make the resolution fruitful for me. Our thoughts may throw a spanner in the works, but let's be committed and determined towards our resolutions. Let me just share few interesting tips. The first one is mentally prepare for change, which is very, very important. Changing ingrained habits is no easy task. So before diving headfirst into the resolutions, first of all, let's make a point that it is important to take a step back and get ready for that impending change. The first breakthrough is change, is taking a personal inventory. What did I set out to do in the past year? Where did I make progress? Where did not I see progress is important. Then the second tip is set a goal that motivates you. You are important. You would be surprised how often people set goals that are not for themselves. To do this, you need to make sure the goal you set is important to you and only you, and there is value and benefit for you in achieving the goal. The third tip is limit resolutions to a manageable amount. Do not stretch so much. Knowing that short list of priorities is the hard part. The key here is understanding how to prioritize to-do list. Then comes the priority list, the topmost. And then comes high priority, which is nothing but the resolution. An exercise that you can understand to help you figure out what is most important in your life. All you need to is to make a note of it, make the list, and then note down the resolution that you would like to achieve. So with these simple tips, the fourth one comes, be specific. You have to be specific towards the resolution that you would like to adopt with the change. Having said that, here is our next segment, table topics, the impromptu speeches. The master of table topics is Toastmaster Aman. He took a resolution to lose weight. It is partially successful as it got derailed later. He is still waiting for the good day to start. Let's all lay back and enjoy the show while few are going to do those gimmicks. Over to you, table topics master, Toastmaster Aman.
Hi everyone. I will be taking you through this exciting session, which is an impromptu speech. And thank you, Kiranmai, for introducing me in a nice way. So we will be taking the speakers. Some of you have already put the message in the chat box. I request the guests who are interested to take the impromptu session, just raise your hand or write in a chat box to me. So I will pick up as per the order. So let's begin it since the theme is the New Year resolution. I would definitely like to hear from you at how pertaneous you are in your New Year resolutions, as well as how you handle if a spanner is coming to you. So let's start with Toastmaster Param. He doesn't need an introduction. So can we spotlight TM Param? Hi, Param sir.
Hi, table topic master. Aman. Yeah, go ahead.
So I would like to give you a topic, your most tried New Year resolution and where you failed miserably.
The most tried New Year resolution where you failed miserably.
Yes.
Good morning, guests and fellow Toastmasters. The topic itself is a resounding music to my ears. Most of my years in my life has gone through this specific topic. On 31st of December at 11:59 in the night, the resolution starts ringing in the head. Will I ever wake up at 5:30 a.m. and the party gets over at 2 a.m. in the morning? And again, I tell myself, I'm going to make it, get up by 5:30 a.m. How many of you are able to relate with this topic? I'm sure at least 80% of us are already sitting on the edge saying that, yes, this was my thought. This was my resolution to wake up early in the morning. Because as child, we were told the early bird catches the worm. Am I the early bird which ever caught the worm? To be honest, I wasn't. I tried my best to wake up repeatedly. I read all the inspirational books possible. I kept alarms which can give early morning workouts. I kept alarm which makes me to solve mathematical problem, even to wake up early in the morning. But still, 31st of December 2020 was no different from 31st of December 2019. Life passed and I'm still trying to figure out who was the winner. Where is that worm which actually picked up, which woke up so early? I've heard about the peahens and the peacocks waking up early, but never saw a worm waking up early. I further realized I am the worm which is lying on the bed and sleeping for glory. But human being lives on hope, and it's going to be no different for 2021. I'm going to sleep on 31st of December 2021, hoping that I'll wake up by 5:30 a.m. on the morning of January 1st, 2022. I need one of you to call me up that day morning. Hope we'll have a volunteer. Toastmaster Ajit, I heard you're a very early morning person who actually didn't sleep last night. So you can wake me up. You're the right person for me. Back to you, table topic master.
That was an awesome experience. Everyone can relate to it. I also woke up every day at 5:30, but I close the alarm, switch off the alarm, and again go to sleep. So thank you, TM Param, for a wonderful speech. Now I would like to invite our next table topic speaker, TM Jay Alani. Can we spotlight him? So Jay, for you, the topic is, I'm already a perfect person. I don't take New Year resolution.
So I'm already a perfect person. Yeah. This goes like this. I wake up on the first day of the year and think, be surrounded with everyone who's taking resolutions, asking my friends what was your resolution today, and again back questioning my friends, back questioning me what was your resolution, then boasting that I am the perfect person here in the year on the earth and I don't need to take any resolutions anymore. So he cross questioned me that when do you wake up? I then certainly told like I get up at 9 o'clock in the morning, and he spotlighted that there's your resolution. I know I'm going vague here, but to be honest, I am not getting any thought here, right? I
Okay, that's okay. You can take a pause if you want, and you can complete your thoughts.
Like, don't know what is throwing spanner in my works here, but then it's okay. I try again back. I'd give a thought on this question and come back to you. Like I'd introspect on this and I'll make me a better speaker.
Yeah,
For now,
nothing to worry, Jay. It's okay.
Right now, to be honest, I'm not a perfect speaker only. Thank you.
No, nothing to worry. Nothing to worry. We all are in the same boat.
Thank you. Right.
So
I want to end here.
For the brief thoughts, and you tried. That is more important, that you participated and tried. And there is nothing to worry, nothing to feel good or bad about it. It's the attempt. We are in the process of learning. So now I would like to invite one of our guests, Ravi. So can we spotlight Ravi?
Yeah.
So Ravi, your resolution for the new year, would maybe you have decided, but I would like to hear your thoughts. How about traveling to an unknown place?
So, good morning, all of you. So, unknown place, if I go by car, I will ask there any location. Suppose unknown place, I suppose I go to Shirdi. There I will ask, so way of route to go temple and check what are the locations, the temple, and where we have to take where we have to take guest. So unknown place, I would have like to go Goa example. So there would be many places need resolution. I want to should not do any harm to anyone on the roadside and in the sea. I think I'm unable to I'm not able to finding out the words. I'm unable to get the words. So if I ask to somebody where to live and where to go and how, question completely I didn't understand that question.
That's okay. That's okay.
So if I go there, if I travel by car, unexpectedly my vehicle get down. My vehicle puncture it middle the road. It would have stopped. So I would have take somebody help and get it. Even the puncture vehicle got puncture. So somebody's took somebody and get it fitting again vehicle, and I would like to go after reaching the Goa, and I will meet to there is my friend, and even I didn't know there how to reach his home room also. So then I over I'm getting stuck, sir, actually.
Okay, it's okay. No issues.
Yeah. Completed.
Thank you, guest Ravi. Thank you. It's a good attempt, in fact. So I would like to call now guest Irfan. He has raised his.
Hi. I think so I'm visible.
Can you spot Irfan?
Yes, tell me.
Yeah. Irfan, your topic is your favorite New Year ritual.
Favorite New Year ritual. So I want to talk about ritual, which I like, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So I don't want to discuss more about religion type of thing. So ritually, as I'm a Muslim, I used to as a ritual I used to do a namaz. This is one of the thing I want to do, and I will speak in such a manner which help in my daily routines in the resolution too also. So as a resolution, I want to be healthier. So if I want to be healthier, I should wake up earlier. So to wake up earlier, this namaz also is one of the thing which is my favorite thing also. Why? Because to do a 5 times namaz, first namaz, namaz timing itself is around 5:30 or so we should wake up earlier. In the similar type of ritual in Hindu religion, so Surya Namaskara, if you are doing Surya Namaskara, so we should wake up earlier. This is one of the thing. So why I like this is the one of the liking thing. So if we do pertinaciously this namaz, that is persistently this namaz, we will be healthier. So because this namaz means we should bend our complete body. So this is one of the type of exercise itself. So another thing is in between, because of my work, because of my daily routines, there will be some in my daily routines. Because of these things, the spanners in the works also, it will be there. So we should come over all these things, so that if to be healthier, I want to continue my liking ritual called namaz. So everything. So it is more than enough to speak about my liking ritual. Thank you.
Thank you, Irfan, for your thoughts. Kiran, TMOD, can we take one more? You are on mute.
I think, Aman, let's go for voting, please.
Okay. So thank you for all the table topic speakers who have participated. And
all 4 speakers are qualified for voting. Timer, can you confirm?
Yes, all the speakers are qualified for voting. Yes.
Okay, I'm launching the poll.
Okay.
Yes, Harish.
10 more seconds, we'll close. We have 22 out of 27.
Okay. Request everyone to cast your vote, which is very valuable for the speakers.
So,
Everyone,
I'm ending the poll.
host and co-host can vote. So
85% I'm ending.
Yeah, and at 85% is done.
Yeah, done. I closed it.
So I hand over session to TMOD, Kiran.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Aman, for a wonderful and better learnings through table topics. In an even wider resolution spectrum, I draw a bigger picture in my head and break it into little pieces to identify the difference between to-do list and a resolution. This might sound over-controlled and well-organized, but in my opinion, it's worth it. Let's go for the next tip of the day. Share your resolutions with others, your counterparts who decided to tell someone about their goal. Feel something different. Now that they have gone public with their goal, they feel a sense of obligation and accountability. Essentially, if you do not follow through, they are going to let everyone down. Crazy it sounds. This sense of guilt is often more powerful than self-motivation. The upshot here is that when you succeed, the people round about you do celebrate with you. The next tip is automate where possible. Nowadays, there are a million different apps and services to help us to map the device with the resolutions. These free tools can help provide a constant reminder, like Google Calendar, Google Now, Reminders, Boomerang for Gmail, many more are available. And the last tip is review your resolution regularly. Be pertinacious. Let's face it, if you are not thinking about your resolution regularly, you are not going to follow through. You get derailed. At a minimum, this review should be monthly, but the more frequent, the better. Having said that, let's get into the third segment of evaluation. Over to you, the general evaluator of the day, Toastmaster Vijayan.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kiranmai, and good morning once again, my dear friends. Let's quickly get started with the prepared speech evaluations. And for that, I'm just going to slightly change the order of evaluations because we have an evaluations, evaluating the evaluations as well. That's the reason I would request a Toastmaster. Let me see who is going to be the first. Okay, Toastmaster Shashank that is the evaluator number 2, first to come up on this virtual stage and evaluate Toastmaster Abhijit's speech. DTM Zia will be evaluating Toastmaster Shashank's evaluation. Is Shashank there? Can we spotlight Toastmaster Shashank?
He is yet to turn on the video.
He's
You're
on the video. Can you
now okay.
spotlight Toastmaster Shashank, please?
Done.
No, he's not.
No, he's spotlighted.
Okay, great. You can remove my spotlight. Over to you, Toastmaster Shashank. You're going to evaluate Toastmaster Abhijit's speech.
Yes. Firstly, congratulations on completing your L1 P2A, Toastmaster Abhijit. It's your second time when you courageously stood up to speak up, and I want you to applaud. And I want to applaud you for this. And coming to your speech, your title, "Eat the Frog," really caught my attention because it was such a metaphoric title. And you started off with a question which again grabbed my attention. And also, I appreciate that you used 2-story model instead of 3-story model, which is being commonly used nowadays. And also, I noticed that you were using some 2 rhetorical devices throughout your speech, and one is simile. You said that wife expect husbands to be as Hrithik Roshan. And the second rhetorical device which you used was metaphor. And it is your title, "Eat That Frog." And I also love the takeaway that you gave for us. And I'm now really interested in reading that "Eat That Frog" book. And I really appreciate the life energy with which you spoke. And you excel at your hand gestures and voice clarity. And this was the commendations part. And coming to the recommendations part, I noticed that throughout your speech, you were being monotonous, where I didn't find any vocal variety or pauses. And secondly, your title. Although you said that "Eat That Frog" is a book in your beginning of your speech, it left me thinking that what is that frog we are talking about? It would be much more better if you would call back to your title in the beginning itself, explaining or giving some glimpse regarding your title, and then get into your story. Overall, you have done a great job, but if you could improve your vocal variety and include more pauses, and also if you could explain regarding your title in the beginning so that it wouldn't leave any lingering questions inside me. Hope you'll apply all these feedback, and I look forward for many more wonderful speeches from you. Thank you, Toastmaster Abhijit. All the best.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shashank, for this feedback. I'm sure Toastmaster Abhijit finds value and becomes a better speaker from the tips that you are given. Now, can I have Toastmaster Jashoshri be spotlighted, please? Toastmaster Jashoshri is the 4th evaluator going to evaluate Toastmaster Tarang's speech. Over to you, Toastmaster Jashoshri.
Hi, everyone. Am I audible? So for the audience, I did mention in my, when I was introducing the evaluating parameters, I said it was dynamic leadership, but I'm sorry, it's persuasive influence. Tarang is doing his persuasive influence. A new year and a Christmas and a carol resolution. Thank you, Toastmaster Tarang, for taking back to my school days where I studied in my English rapid reading about Charles Dickens and Mr. Scrooge. I clearly remember the picture on the cover. Thank you for that. Coming back to your speech, Tarang, I actually would give you 3 recommendations and 3 commendations and 2 recommendations. As you spoke about Mr. Scrooge, I like the actions that you have taken to describe him, having more and more and giving less and less. I like that action in your speech. Second thing which I would like to give commendation is that how you actually segregated or put your speech content into different layers, which actually helped me to understand and relate to your speech. The third commendation is you kept the theme and the occasion, that is Christmas, in mind, and you written your speech, and which made me even more relatable to your speech. Now coming to two recommendations that I would like to give to you. While I was listening to your speech, I was actually waiting eagerly to hear your story, how you have included all those techniques and advices to your own life and have gained benefit from that. However, if you can include those include the self-benefit in your next speech, I think your speech will be even more relatable, or even more like I would love to hear that from you. The second recommendation that I would like to give you is that this project was actually about having the feedback that you have received from your previous speech or from your previous evaluator. However, since you were unable to share that with me, I was not able to give you evaluation on those parameters, and hence I couldn't see how you have fared on those parameters. In conclusion, I would really like to say that you excelled in segregating or making your speech content into different layers, which helped me as an evaluator to remember your advices for how to make resolutions very clearly. Second, your story about Charles Dickens and his Mr. Scrooge was where I could relate myself to your speech. And thirdly, I would like to say that if you can include your own story of benefit and gain in your next speech, I would really like to see that in your next speech. So thank you so much, Tarang, and over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Yashashree.
Thank you, Toastmaster Yashashree, for this evaluation. And I hope Tarang finds value and becomes better as from this feedback that you have given us. Okay, so let's now switch gears, go back to evaluator number 1, Toastmaster Pragya, who is going to evaluate Toastmaster Lakshmi Rudra's speech. Can I have, yeah, there you go, Pragya, all yours.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Life will keep throwing spanners at our work, and if we are pertinacious about what we wish to do, we will surely succeed. And that is what you have shown us today with your speech. Although you did got confused, you lost your train of thoughts, but you still kept on going, and that is what grabbed my attention instantly. When I look for a speech, it is very important for me as a listener to know what is my takeaway from the speech, and I could clearly find out the takeaways which you were giving me. Read the room, pick your battles. That told me that, yes, I need to understand that everything as a leader would not work at every place. Listen with empathy. Communication is all about it. It is a new learning because most of the times we listen, but not carefully. We listen to answer. And third, you said that it is important for a leader to leave a legacy. That gave me a way of what I, as a leader, would wish to do. And those were the 3 strong takeaways from your speech for me. The point which also grabbed my attention was that how important is integrity, because you in your own story told that integrity is something which connects to you quite well. Now, as every sherni, the tigress would need a sharpened teeth and the sharpened claws to hunt for the right things in the world. Let us sharpen your teeth and claws too. Few things which would add to this speech to make it completely next level would be if you would have in between connected to the story of Vidya to yourself. That link of at every single stage was missing, though the learnings were told, but how does that story apply to you? What were the incidences in your own life which you faced, which Vidya was facing? If that would have been a little bit of connect, I think I would have been able to make that chain properly. And also when you had an amazing usage of words, but somehow I was feeling that because of that you were losing your train of thoughts and you could not get back to where you were about to start. A good idea of that probably could be if you have key points in your mind, that these are the 3 takeaways that I have to give, and these are the 3 stories which I would want to connect to it. It will probably help you more to remember what you want to speak on. And last but not the least, if it is possible, if you could have also told us what are the other different styles of leadership, because as a listener, I am now more curious rather than being answered of what are the other styles, though you did tell about one style which is persistent to you. Probably a little bit glimpse of what other styles do would have made it more clear to me that, oh, this is the difference between all the different styles, and that is why this is your particular style. Other than that, Toastmaster Lakshmi, I must say that you have done an amazing job today by not giving up while you were losing the train of thoughts. If you apply these few points into your speech, you would do it next level. Looking forward to it. Thank you, Toastmaster Lakshmi. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Pragya. Thank you so much. I hope your feedback is valuable, and the Toastmaster Lakshmi is going to use it to improve and become a better speaker. Now let's go on to evaluator number 3, Toastmaster Abhijit, who is going to evaluate a Toastmaster Shweta's speech. Over to you, Toastmaster Abhijit.
Thank you, Mr. G. And specifically to Toastmaster Shweta. Shweta, amazing is the word I have to kind of summarize my entire your speech. You did an amazing job today. You began by engaging the audience, asking them a question, and you had a natural conversational style. Okay, you actually first of all gave a wonderful speech, a sincere speech delivered right from the heart. What I liked is that spontaneous smile that you had at the camera, and you had some amazing natural gestures that you used throughout the speech. I have some feedback on that, which I will come to very soon. What I loved about the speech was there were no fillers whatsoever that I could notice. It's a great job that you have done in this speech. There are certain aspects which I feel, in my personal opinion, the very small things that you could work on to take this speech to the next level is, one, you could have kept the title quizzical. You talked about, no pain, no gain. It's a very simple title. Everybody relates to it. But if you had kept it quizzical, it would have spiked the interest of the audience a little bit, making them wonder what's coming. Another thing that you could have done is, when you were giving examples, for example, you said you didn't get a visa first time around, and then you said other times. Whenever you're giving examples, it's better to be specific, give 1 or 2 instances, avoid being generic. These are all things that you can do for your future speeches, but what you did very, very well today, A, smile while presenting. What I would like you to challenge yourself in the future is bring in some humor. Make the audience smile and laugh too. You were smiling, you did a great job. Help them also. By probably what you could have done is, while you're giving examples of the challenges you face, you could have brought in some self-deprecating humor. Something that would, make them instantly connect with you, gives them an incentive to accept more. All in all, I would say, you had a clear diction, calm, composed manner of speaking. You're looking into the camera, connecting with the entire audience. You've done wonderfully well on most aspects. You ended, the loveliest part was, success begins at the end of the comfort zone, at Tony Robbins' quote. Your entire speech was peppered with such a lot of good words, usages. I'm sure the WFG has to add to my report also. I simply was blown away by your speech. Back to you, Madam G.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abhijit. Thank you. And I hope your evaluation is going to be useful for Toastmaster Shweta, so that she takes your feedback and improves and becomes a better speaker from here. Okay, a quick check before I move on to the time of Toastmaster Yashna. Are the 4 evaluators well qualified for the time?
Yes, they are.
Thank you. The reason I asked is because the next 2 evaluators are going to evaluate the evaluators. So first one is DTM Zia. He is going to evaluate Toastmaster Shashank. Toastmaster Shashank did his level 1, project 2, segment number 3, which is delivering an evaluation. That has to be evaluated. So DTM Zia, over to you.
Yeah, thank you, General Evaluator. Toastmaster Shashank, you have done an excellent job. While you are evaluating, you started by congratulating the speaker. That is, the one way of motivating the speakers while you are congratulating. I think you started very well. As every evaluation also should be a mini speech. So I can see that in the introduction, body, and conclusion, as you in your opening remarks, you encourage the speaker. Then you give some suggestions. Then you have given some recommendations. Then the suggestions for the improvement. That was an excellent pattern of the evaluating. Let me give you some more details. The way you have started, and you mentioned about everything about his speech. You talk about the two stories he shared, and you talk about the rhetoric devices which he used in his speech, and the recommendations also which you have given. I think that is definitely is going to help the speaker for his future speeches. Like you mentioned about the pauses, and you mentioned about some the monotonous speech. I think you have to improve upon his vocal variety. And also, you have given the suggestion that the speech title, I think we should have elaborated in the beginning. That will give the more clarity for the audience to understand the purpose of this speech. Nevertheless, I think being an evaluator, the beauty about the Toastmastering is, even the evaluator will be evaluated. So I do have a few suggestions for you, Shashank, being an evaluator. Though you have given, you have achieved the purpose of this project, but I give you some suggestions. For example, while you are evaluating, you have to maintain the eye contact. Say, for example, if I am speaking to you, I have to look at the camera. If I starting looking to my notes and this one, so it's look like I'm reading from my notes, isn't it? So this is not about reading, this is about speaking. So whenever we are speaking, even in the Zoom meetings, we have to maintain the eye contact by looking at the camera. The second recommendation, what I want to give you is, while you are using the notes also, don't put the notes like this. So you're reading from this side. So instead of that, like for example, I do have notes. We can put it in front of us, and we can read from here. We can have a glance and take some notes from here, and we can speak the camera. These are the few suggestions which I have for you. Overall, it was an excellent evaluation. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Zia. Thank you so much, and well done, Toastmaster Shashank, on completing your project. Okay, the next evaluator will be myself. I'll be playing a dual role. I'm going to evaluate Toastmaster Jasho's evaluation, right? So Jasho also did level 1, project 2, segment number 3, which is evaluations that has to be evaluated. I can see the timer cards. Now I'll start with my evaluation. First of all, Toastmaster Jasho, your evaluation was crisp, clear, and concise. That's something which I really liked. But what I really loved is the honesty in which you opened up your evaluation, saying that you made a mistake in calling out the pathways path and you wanted to correct it, which was very good, but generally not required. If it was a contest, it would have eaten up 10 seconds. But nevertheless, I like that honesty in it. And evaluations are all about opinions, not criticizing or judging, which is exactly what you did. And I liked in your opinions when you was talking about actions, segregation, and theme. In fact, you said you liked the theme of the speech because it was more relatable. But what kind of actions did you like that you said you liked actions, or that did not come out in your evaluation, which could have been a little more better? You could have said your hand gestures, your facial expressions. Those are some actions which you like. You could have called it out specifically. That would have made it more powerful. Similarly, segregation of a speech, I think you referred to structure of the speech, which is called opening, body, and conclusion. In fact, your own evaluation, Toastmaster Jasho, was structured very well. It started with the commendations that all you like, and then came to your recommendations, what 2 things that you felt could be improved, and then you summarized it beautifully and wrapping up the entire thing, which is called the CRC method, which I liked the way you structured it in 3 minutes. Now, coming to your recommendation, I completely agree with your recommendation. Number one, you said if the speaker would have added a self-benefit or a self-experience, it would have been much better speech. And I truly agree on that as well. Because when we add personal experiences to whatever we talk, then it gives more authenticity. If not, this speech, which is motivational in nature, could have become more inspirational as well. So I completely agree with this recommendation, Toastmaster Joshua. Now, one thing that you brought out in your recommendation is the project demands the speaker share the previous feedback, and the evaluator has to tell whether the speaker has applied this feedback to improve in the next speech. Now, the speaker did not share the previous feedback. What do? You just inform this in your recommendation, but I didn't hear what is the action out of it. I would have rather expected you to tell the speaker to repeat the project and ask another evaluator to reevaluate from the basis from what you evaluated today, right? So the action for Toastmaster Tarang, please do repeat the project, because unless the evaluator tells that you have overcome the previous feedback, the project isn't complete. But I would like to call it out, Toastmaster Joshua has completed her project as being an effective evaluator, because giving clear, crisp, and concise feedback is all about giving evaluations. Good job, Toastmaster Joshua. Okay, so I'll now switch gears back to as general evaluator. So here we are. Timer. Is all the 6 evaluators qualified for voting?
Yes, all the evaluators are qualified.
So Toastmaster Harish,
can launch the poll.
Can you launch the poll? Friends,
Yes.
take less than 10 seconds to vote and expect everyone to vote. Except for the host and co-host, everyone will have the right to vote. Please vote. "19 seconds over and only 16 people have voted. Can we have more votes, please?" 30 seconds done, and you still not touched 20 votes.
Okay.
There we
20
go.
of 23. I can stop.
You can stop. Yes. Good. Thank you, Vote Master and Zoom Master, Toastmaster Harish. Now let's get to the evaluation of the entire meeting as such, right? For this, let me call upon the first role player, Toastmaster Param, to share a report on how well we did in terms of vocabulary and grammar. Can we spotlight Toastmaster Param, please? The Word Master Grammarian.
Toastmaster Vijayan and all present. You need a pencil or a pen and a book, actually, if you've got Toastmaster Lakshmi starting as a speaker, because she will set the stage on fire with her confidence as well as the usage of the language. I'm so impressed by the fact that Toastmaster Lakshmi, actually I got about 6 bulleted beautiful usages that Toastmaster Lakshmi started off with. She spoke about the story of Vidya, in which she spoke about read the room, pick your battles, stark contrast, staying tuned to words, lackadaisical, truly left her mark. I mean, the very usage that Toastmaster Lakshmi comes in her speech is something to learn from and get inspired that our next speech is going to have some of these pepper and salt usage of these words. Additionally, she has used the idiom of the day and the word of the day very nicely peppered into her speech. Toastmaster Abhijit followed it with the usage of idiom of the day and the word of the day a couple of times. Toastmaster Shweta, very good usage of a terminology called flight of freeze. Day, I mean, good usage of an adage all of a sudden in a speech. Toastmaster Tarang, again, I like the way he played with the word resolutions become resolutions. Then he had the story of Ebenezer, which he said was and the way he spoke about the daily goals. Amazing stuff, Toastmaster Tarang. TMOD, very good tips, as well as a nice word called upshot, a very, very new word, a new lingo that she used. I really appreciate that usage of the word. The Toastmaster one of the Toastmasters who were on the stage couldn't pronounce the word pertinacious. It is not wrong about it. Attempt it a few times in your home, 25 times at least, you'll get it right. It's pertinacious. It's pertinacious. So attempt it 25 times when you're alone in the restroom. Very good place. Nobody joins you in the restroom. Be alone and start attempting it. It's a good place to improve a lot of vocabulary. Toastmaster J. Elani, fresh and still use the word. Guest Animesh, you were impressive by using it, using both the idiom of the day and word of the day. Very well planned attempt. He did it. I mean, that's like a surgical strike, I would call it. So really good usage. And overall about 9 usage word of the day, and that's simply amazing. Great stuff for ending the year, which means we're all ready for the next year to start in a big way. Happy New Year to everybody, and back to you, Toastmaster Vijay.
Thank you, Toastmaster Param, for such a crisp and yet elaborate report on Wordmaster Grammarian. So let's go to the next role player. Can I have Toastmaster Ashish very spotlighted, please? And Ashish, can you give us a report on how many R's and Ums or filler words that we all used?
Thank you, Toastmaster Vijay. Coming to the counter report, Toastmaster Jashushree as presiding officer has used 6 R's and 6 O's. Sergeant at Arms Harish has not used any filler words. Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Kiranmai has used only 3 R's in her entire as a TMOD role. Toastmaster Vijayan as a general evaluator has used 6 R's and 1 So. Wordmaster Grammarian Param has used 4 R's and 4 Ums and 1 So. Timer 2 Sandeep has used 2 R's. Timer 1 Yashna has not used any filler words. Speaker 1 Sai Lakshmi has used 5 R's and repeated words within and her 2 times. She also has 2 long pauses. Speaker 2 Abhijit has 7 R's, 5 So's, 3 Unos, 1 short pause. Speaker 3 Shweta did not use any filler words in her entire speech. Speaker 4 Tarang has used 3 R's in his speech. Coming to evaluations, Toastmaster Pragya has used 4 R's. Toastmaster Shashank has used 1 R. Toastmaster Ajit has used 6 R's, and Toastmaster Jashushree has used 9 R's. Toastmaster Zia has used 6 R's and 3 thens, which were repeated. Toastmaster Vijayan in his evaluation has used 4 R's. Coming to table topics, Toastmaster Aman has used 5 R's and 1 R. Toastmaster Param has used 4 R's. Toastmaster Jay used 4 R's and 3 So's. Toastmaster Ravi has used 3 R's. Toastmaster Irfan has used 3 R's and 2 So's. Toastmaster Ashish has been repeating so many times that it's uncountable. That is my report. Over to you, Toastmaster Vijay.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ashish. So one of the common pitfalls as a public speaker is to use this filler words. Many times it goes unnoticed. Sometimes it is very distracting. And thank you. I hope every single speaker who had listened to your report will cautiously put some effort to reduce their filler words. So can I have the next role player, Toastmaster Yashna? Is your camera available, or you just want to talk without the camera?
Yeah, my camera is still having issues, so I will just have the audio on.
Read out the timer report. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Vijay. I have a rather interesting timer report today. Our first speaker, Toastmaster Lakshmi, took 9 minutes 50 seconds, even when a span I would like to personally apologize. My timer cards were not seen. I really apologize for that. So the time for him has exactly not been noted. I am sorry. Our third speaker, Toastmaster Shweta, logged in 6 minutes, 18 seconds at the time. Toastmaster Tarang took 7 minutes, 20 seconds. Our table topic speakers today used their time optimally, and Toastmaster Param took 2 minutes, 24 seconds. Toastmaster Jay took 1 minute, 40 seconds. Guest Ravi took 2 minutes, 25 seconds, and guest Irfan took 1 minute, 40 seconds. Our evaluators today also did a very good job with the usage of the time and completed their report right on time. Toastmaster Shashank took 2 minutes, 30 seconds. Toastmaster Jasho took 3 minutes, 1 second. Toastmaster Pragya took 3 minutes, 13 seconds. Toastmaster Ajit took 2 minutes, 55 seconds. Toastmaster Zia took 3 minutes, 5 seconds. And Toastmaster Vijayan took 3 minutes, 5 seconds. That is a report from my end. Over to you, Toastmaster Vijayan.
Thank you, Toastmaster Yashna, for a crisp, clear timer report. That's very important to manage time. And timer 2, Toastmaster Sandeep, has been noting the time for every role player. And he will be sharing the time cards back with the EC and TMOD and myself later after this meeting. But however, when I checked the timer report, at 12:15, the GE is supposed to come and deliver the GE report. And we are bang on time. And here I am with my report as a GE. I'm going to talk about what's happened so good in today's meeting and few recommendations where we can improve for the next meeting as such. Number 1, Sergeant at Arms opened the meeting sharp at 10 a.m., explaining the ground rules. And his voice, Toastmaster Harish, your warm and welcoming voice. I loved listening to you as your Sergeant at Arms opening. Okay. And the presiding officer read out the achievements of the club in December 2021, and what a way to end the year with acknowledging the members who have accomplished a particular milestone, especially calling out DTM Rajneesh and Toastmaster Rahul's milestone was very good. Apart from that, kudos to every HTMer in making this club end the year of becoming Select Distinguished Toastmasters Club. Now, this is amazing when you recognize what every members have done and where we stand as a club in the very beginning of the meeting. It sets the tone for the next meeting itself. Kudos to you, presiding officer, on that. And I also liked the formal induction process for all the new members who joined, right? This is like taking an oath and saying this is what the Toastmasters oath is, not HTM's oath, and every Toastmaster pledges to do in their Toastmasters journey. Nice way of conducting a formal induction. Kudos to the VP membership and president of this club. Going to the Toastmaster of the day. You opened this meeting with amazing quotes and a great theme to resonate with every one of us. At December 25th, we planned what to keep a resolution in December 31st night or January 1st. And many of us tend to break it in 7 days. That's including me, right? And you gave us tips throughout your speech as a Toastmaster of the day. I loved the theme. I loved the way you conducted the team. Kudos to you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Kiranmai. Taking this role the first time is not easy, challenging, but very well conducted itself. Now, every single role player gave a very crisp introduction, keeping everything on time. And the speeches were too good and engaging. I already had the feedback from the guests talking about it. Abhijit and Shweta, Toastmaster, used questions to hook the audience as in their opening. Lakshmi and Tarang used different methods. Lakshmi used a poetic form of poems to hook the audience in her opening. Now, I need to acknowledge Lakshmi because in spite of all the struggles and lack of practice and great use of English words, she had stuck to her guns in completing the speech. Very nice. And what I really liked in that speech is how the VP Ed and the TMOD stepped and encouraged her to complete a speech. This is the spirit of Toastmasters. I saw that even in a table topics segment as well, where members are encouraging them, encouraging speakers whenever they fall back flat on the face that they say encourage, and we do it. Now, one thing that I want as a recommendation to every member, every guest, is as soon as a role player completes their speech, or as soon as a speaker completes a speech, please give a clap. You can turn on your video, clap, or use the emoji signs, clap. A clap shows our willingness to listen to the audience, and to the speaker feels appreciated. So please do clap it. I see a little lack of that in today's meeting that can be improved on. Of course, whenever a speaker uses word of the day or idiom of the day, show thumbs up. I'm not sure how many of them actually showed thumbs up. Even that is there in emojis. Use the thumbs up and encourage them to use it in their daily vocabulary. Yes, the timer one had a slight glitch in showing the timer cards. Better luck next time. Just keep a tab on that. Now, the other thing I like to say is, presiding officer, when you talk about select distinguished club, talk a line about what distinguished club program is about. It is easy for many of them will not connect after the meeting to VPA to understand what it is. For new members as well, it is important to call out. It's a quality parameter, and it says we are in high quality club. So just read it out as one single line, what it means, and it is a proud moment to be in that. That's something which I felt personally would have been much better as well. Now, only one thing in table topics, we were running short of time. We cut the table topics, which was planned for 6 table topic speakers, to only 4. Probably one more would, as a grace one, would not have made the heavens fall. I would have liked it to have 5. Nevertheless, we are managing time effectively. Overall, it's a great meeting. I loved every single evaluations because they were crisp, concise, clear, and with all recommendations. That was very nice. Kudos to those who attended table topics. Those who couldn't attend, better luck next time and join us on time for the next meeting. With this, I give it back to a Toastmaster of the day. Over to you.
Thank you, dear General Evaluator Vision, for carrying out the evaluation segment so smoothly. A coin has both sides, as we all know. So taking a resolution or not taking depends on our call, one's own call. Let me recap the tips to stick on to achieve the targeted resolution before I close. Let's have clarity on the to-do list, priority list, and a resolution. Resolution always takes the top of the list. Later, have an action plan set with achievable resolution. Also review them periodically. Few tips like mentally prepare for change, set a goal that motivates you, limit resolutions to a manageable amount, be specific, share your resolutions with others, automate where possible, review your resolutions regularly. All these are the good tips where we can definitely inculcate in our daily life. Also, one brick at a time and do not get derailed. The resolution, the word itself, a self-possessed with solution. So let's dare to take up the challenge for better you. Having said that, I hand over the meeting to our presiding officer, Toastmaster Joshua. Over to you, Joshua.
Thank you, Master Kiranmai. I think we will make a resolution our part of our solutions to change our habits and make it pretentious, if I've pronounced it correctly. Okay, so moving on, can we launch the poll for best role player? So this will be actually a 2-member poll in one single, it will be 2 votes in one single poll. So if
no, I'm launching 2 polls actually.
Oh, actually you're launching 2 polls. Okay, fine. So
first I'm launching for role player 1.
And then
Grammarian, accountant and time.
Okay, first role player 2. Actually, this is okay. Fine. This is these role players are divided as per their stage time. So these role players who have less stage time, it is divided according to that way.
Yes.
Ashish, once you are Harish, once you are done, can you share the results with?
Sure, I will text. I will
Yeah.
in chat.
Yeah.
81% I am closing.
Okay.
We'll go for next one. Okay, I'm stopping it at the IT 77. One more row. Someone can. I ended the polls, both done. I shared. Oh, share. Yeah, I put it in the group. I'm sorry.
Have you put it in the personal message? Yeah.
No, I missed and I put to everyone.
Okay. Take it. That's okay. I'll take it. No worries. I'll take it. No worries. Okay, so I'll just take 30 minutes to prepare the certificates and the final results. So if
30 minutes.
30 seconds. Sorry, 30 seconds. So I would really like any guest or any visiting Toastmaster to give their feedback for this particular.
You're gone on mute, Joshua. Yeah.
Anyone would like to share your feedback for the meeting?
I open this particular time for anyone to share their feedback, any visiting Toastmasters or Toastmaster or a guest to share their feedback very fast.
Anyone who hasn't had a chance to speak until now, please feel free to share your feedback.
Hey, I'm Ganesh here. So actually, I was part of this HTM as a guest a few years ago. I again rejoined. I hope 2022 I will make a resolution to join as a club member in HTM. But wonderful speeches, everyone, including TMOD to evaluators and general evaluator as well. Everyone played very well, and it's nice meeting you back again. Wonderful. I always like HTM because there is always more crowd. First of all, I didn't get a chance last time to enroll as a member because of the long queue. So I hope I'll get a chance again this year, 2022. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guest Ganesh. Yeah, as a VP membership, I'll be staying back after the meeting to interact. Josh, if you're not ready, I'll.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Over to you.
So, yeah, thank you, Ganesh, for your feedback. And so, let me share my screen just a moment with all the.
While you're doing that, I have an observation, Yashasri. Can I share that?
Yes, and here are the winners for today's meeting. Role player 1, General Evaluator, Toastmaster Vijay. Role player 2, Wordmaster Grammarian, Toastmaster Param. Best Table Topic Speaker, Toastmaster Param again. Best Evaluator, Toastmaster Pragya. And Best Speaker, Toastmaster Shweta. So congratulations to all of you. And I will be sharing these certificates over WhatsApp. So we formally come to an end. We are coming to an end of our another wonderful and successful meeting. So thank you to all the role players and all the speakers, guests, and table topic speakers, everyone for making this particular meeting a successful once again. So for the next meeting, it will be a regular meeting, and the regular meeting is on 9th of January. There might be a education session that will depend upon our VP Education to organize, but this is a bit tentative. So next meeting is a regular meeting once again, 9th January from 9:45 onwards. And here we formally come to an end to the meeting and wishing everyone a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Over to you, Toastmaster Harish, our Sergeant of Arms. Please.
Thank you, Toastmaster Yashasri. Thank you everyone for joining and making this meeting a very successful one. I used to think that a New Year resolution is just a time marking event. So if you want to do something better, start today. You will have a Sunday evening free with you. Why wait for a Monday to start something? Why wait for another 1st of next month to start something? If you think something is good, start it right now. There is a Telugu saying, Shubhasya Sigram, which means if you feel it is a good task, do it immediately. With that, the meeting is officially ended. You can wait for interaction. Thank you all.
Can I just ask everyone to just be on the call for a minute? We'll take a quick. If everyone is ready with their camera. There are two screens, okay? I'll take time. Ready? A moment, please. Ajit, you wanted to share some feedback.
I was just saying
It's
that,
done.
yeah, Abhijit was speaking and TMOD Kiran called him Ajit 2-3 times and he immediately, corrected her. So he was feeling bad perhaps to be called Ajit. So sorry, Abhijit, didn't mean that.
Now, we'll have to verify whether he was feeling bad because he was called Ajit or he was not called Abhijit. We'll discuss that later.
Okay, so the meeting is formally over. So don't stay back. All the guests who want to stay back, they can stay back and interact with our VP membership Toastmaster Rahul.
May I request to stop the recording in Facebook Live, please?
Yes. So thanks once again and bye-bye. Have a nice Sunday evening.
Thank you, everyone.